Hello everyone. Today we are going to make a presentation on our project. Our project is curriculum development project using design thinking. We are from group 3 of ETE class 2. I am Amhyonai and my group members are Sunyat, Our, and Olivia. First of all, I will introduce you the title and the subtitles of our curriculum. The title of our curriculum is Growing Minds, a holistic curriculum for lower primary. The subtitle is Integrated Themes for Real-Life Learning and Exploration. Now, I'm going to talk about the subject and the grade level intended by this curriculum and some of the reasons why this curriculum is suitable for lower elementary school students. In our curriculum, two subjects will cover, which are Bahasa Indonesia and Mathematics. Also, our curriculum intended for grade 1 to grade 4 students in an elementary school in Indonesia. Now, I am going to talk about some of the reasons why this curriculum is suitable for grade 1 to grade 4 students. First of all, our curriculum tries to fulfill some of the gaps in the curriculum. There are some of the irrelevant themes in the current curriculum, and we try to make our curriculum more relevant and flexible for the elementary student learning experience. Secondly, this curriculum tries to fulfill the needs for inclusive and contextualized learning. Moreover, our curriculum will provide support with students with confidence and motivation to learn because we integrated some of the flexible and fun learning activities in our curriculum. Now, the next presenter will talk about the emphasized stage of our curriculum.
Hello, I'm No. In this part, I will explain how we explore the real needs of the student and the school to guide our curriculum design. To understand these challenges, we conduct the interviews with the school class teachers and school administrators. At Simpangkan Elementary Schools, they share their insights about daily learning struggles, and student engagements and curriculum limitations. After that, we use student questionnaires to get and collect feedback directly from students, focusing on their interests, difficulties, and learning preferences. After analyzing the results, we identify two major findings. The first one is there is a significant learning gaps in both Bahasa and Mathematics, especially among lower primary students. The second one is astounding for content that is more flexible, inclusive, and culturally relevant. As students were not connecting with the lesson because the content felt true and related to their life. So this finding confirmed that a more adaptive and locally grounded approach was essential. Students can learn best when they can relate to what they are studying. So we knew our design had to reflect their backgrounds, experiences, and everyday culture. This is the design stage. Based on our empathy work, we identified a clear issue. The current curriculum lacked contextual flexibility and inclusiveness. Because of this, many students struggle to stay engaged, particularly in Bahasa and in mathematics. So our problem statement is the current curriculum lacks contextual flexibility and inclusiveness, making it difficult for students to engage deeply in these subjects like mathematics and Bahasa. Our curriculum redesign especially focus on lower primary level students which have diverse learning needs. So we focus on students. We focus on helping students bridge gaps in foundational language and numeracy skill by covering lessons that connect to their learning, to their real life and cultural context. This is the ideal stage. To solve this, we brainstorm many ideas. Some of the ideas are using storytelling with fortes or localities, and integrating local cultures and daily life into lessons, and designing hands-on mathematics games with familiar materials around them. So the final approach is that we selected a holistic and inclusive approach that blends academic learning with character development. This includes storytelling, hands-on games, and real-life examples from the local community to make learning more engaging and meaningful. The design is creative because it centers around the students' life experiences. It is relevant because it makes learning practical and relative, while also nurturing positive values through culturally meaningful activities.
The step we create the first version of our semester curriculum, we made the structure based on what we found in the earlier steps, like what students need, what problems we saw in the old curriculum, and the ideas we come up with during brainstorming. Our curriculum includes weekly time plans, main topics for each grade, and learning activities that fit the student age and development. One special part of our curriculum is the focus on character education. We also use fun and active methods like game, projects, and visual aids to help students enjoy learning more. We made sure the learning content is suitable for different grades. For example, we start with easy concept for younger students and slowly move to harder topics in higher grades. So everything builds up step by step grades. I taught Bahasa Indonesia in grade 3, and my topic was about verbs atau kata kerja and adjective kata sifat. To make the lesson fun, I used a simple game. The student act out some verbs and then they describe things using adjectives. They were excited and really enjoyed the game while learning at the same time. After teaching, we got feedback from the teacher and also from the student. The teacher said the lesson was fun and the game helped the student understand better. But we are also told to give more time for students to speak and share ideas. So we made some small changes like giving more time for reflection
and for the next is lesson plan and grade 1 for subject mathematics and lesson adding up to 10. So by the end of the lesson, students will be able to understand the concept of combining two groups to make a sum up to 10. Also use subject or features to solve simple addition problems up to 10. And last is write number sentence using the plus and minus and equals symbols. For lesson plan for grade 2 subject mathematics, lesson 3-digit addition with regrouping. By the end of the lesson, students will be able to first understand the concept of regrouping in 3-digit addition and solve 3-digit addition problems using the vertical method with regrouping. And last is explain how and why regrouping happens during addition. For lesson plan grade 3, the subject is Bahasa Indonesia. For the lesson is identifying adjectives and verb in short story. So by the end of the lesson, students will be able to identify adjectives and verbs in a short story text. Second, highlight adjectives and verbs using different colors. And the third is mention several examples of adjectives and verbs correctly. And last for our lesson plan is for grade 4 in subject Bahasa Indonesia. The lesson is about writing narrative paragraphs, and by the end of the lesson, students will be able, the first is write a short narrative paragraph about a personal experience, so they will write their personal experience on the paper. And the second is use time order words and basic structure in beginning, middle, and the end. And last is share their story orally with clear sequence from the class.
As a reflection, I would like to say that I learned a lot from this curriculum design projects. It is very important to know the diversity of the learner for the effective implementation of the curriculum. Only when we know the needs of the learners and their problem, we will be able to design the curriculum content, the teaching learning material, and the assessment procedure which are suitable for their needs. The biggest challenge of our project is integrating feedback from the teacher that it makes our work stronger.
To summarize our projects, this design thinking approach was taught me how important it is to understand the student needs before designing a lesson or curriculum. So instead of just assuming what the problem with, I learned to start with empathy, listen to the teachers, students, and school leaders to identify what the real problems are. One of the biggest challenges I faced was organizing and analyzing the data from the interviews and questionnaires. It was overwhelming at first, but by working closely with our team members, and we use clear coding and summarized truth, we were able to identify our problems and meaningful insights. In my future teaching projects, I will definitely apply this design thinking method before I starting at designing a lesson or curriculum. I will use surveys, questionnaires, interviews, and reflective activities. I really want to design lessons that are more student-centered, relevant, and flexible that we did in our project.
From this project, I learned that using the design thinking process helps us understand what students really need. By visiting the school and seeing the real classroom, I could plan a lesson that fits the student better. When I taught Bahasa about verbs and adjectives, I used a simple game. The students were happy and more active during the lesson. I saw the learning becomes easier and more fun when we use games and movement, not just writing or listening. One challenge I faced was that some students got too noisy during the game, but I learned to give clear rules and reminders so that class stayed focused. In the future, I want to keep using fun and active methods like this. This experience helped me feel more ready to be a teacher, and I'm excited to learn more.
For the reflection for grade 4 in subject Bahasa, so the lesson plan was successfully guided the students for writing narrative paragraph text based on their experience. So the challenges is lack of material like marker. So we need the teacher for explaining like the lesson plan as we made, because I have asked to the students and they said like they have learned about this topic before, but they don't understand about this when the teacher explained about this. But with our lesson plan, they already understand and know how to writing correctly and clearly, also by oral sharing their experience.
All in all, we learned 3 important lessons from our curriculum design projects. First of all, we learned that design thinking can help us to build student-centered and adapted curriculum. Secondly, it is important to be creative and contextually relevant when designing a curriculum for elementary school students. Moreover, the commitment to inclusive and holistic education is critical, and we need to consider this aspect in designing a curriculum for elementary school students. That's all for today. Thank you so much for your time. Please watch our video via the provided link, and we are looking forward to hearing your feedback. Thank you.